Sarah Breedlove, born to formerly enslaved parents, became Madam C.J. Walker, America's first widely recognized self-made female millionaire. Picture a black woman stepping from a motor car near a grand Hudson River mansion. The year was 1918, and the air smelled of wet leaves and new money. Her home, Villa Luaro, stood like a promise carved in stone. It had columns, terraces, and rooms filled with music. For many Americans, that kind of house meant inherited power. For Walker, it meant something different. It meant survival had turned into strategy. It meant pain had become an empire. Her fortune came from hair care products, sales agents, and relentless teaching. She built opportunity like a gardener planting rows after drought. Each agent carried bottles, hope, and a new sense of worth. This was not only business, it was a movement. Yet the road to that mansion began in poverty and loss. It began with cotton fields, hard water, and empty stomachs. It began with a child named Sarah. But to understand how she got here, we need to go back to the beginning. Sarah Breedlove was born on December 23, 1867, near Delta, Louisiana. Her parents, Owen and Minerva Breedlove, had been enslaved before the Civil War. Sarah was their first child born into legal freedom. Freedom, however, did not arrive with comfort. It arrived like a key without a door. Her family worked as sharecroppers, farming land they did not own. Sharecropping meant giving part of the crop as payment. It was like running on a road that moved backward. By 7, Sarah had lost both parents. The world became very quiet. A pause belongs here. She moved to Vicksburg, Mississippi, and lived with her older sister Lavinia. As a child, she worked in homes and fields. There was little schooling. There was plenty of labor. At 14, she married Moses McWilliams, partly to escape mistreatment. In 1885, she gave birth to a daughter, Lelia. Sarah was widowed by 20. She took Lelia north to St. Louis, Missouri. There, her brothers worked as barbers, close to the world of hair care. Sarah washed clothes for wealthy families. She earned little, but saved for Lelia's education. That small act revealed her defiance. Her first empire was not money. It was determination, folded like clean linen. By the 1890s, Sarah's body carried the cost of poverty. She worked over boiling tubs, breathing steam and harsh soap. Her scalp became infected, and her hair began falling out. For a black woman then, hair carried deep social pressure. It was identity, dignity, and public armor. The crisis was personal, but it was not rare. Many women suffered from scalp disease and poor sanitation. Indoor plumbing was limited in many working-class homes. Clean water was not always easy. A healthy scalp was like fertile soil. Without care, nothing strong could grow. Sarah tried treatments, remedies, and advice from her barber brothers. She also learned from Annie Turnbow Malone, a black hair care entrepreneur. That fact matters. Walker did not invent ambition alone. She entered a growing world of black women's enterprise, but fate had other plans. In 1905, Sarah moved to Denver, Colorado. She worked as a cook and saleswoman. The mountains stood beyond the city like witnesses. She was nearing 40, poor and exhausted. Still, she studied every customer. She listened to every need. Her lowest moment became research. Her suffering became a laboratory. And this is where everything changed. In Denver, Sarah began selling her own hair preparation. She later promoted it as Madam Walker's Wonderful Hair Grower. The product treated scalp problems and encouraged healthier hair care. It was not magic, it was a system. A system is like a recipe followed with care. Wash, apply, massage, and repeat. She taught women that routine could restore confidence. In 1906, she married Charles Joseph Walker. She took the name Madam C.J. Walker. The title sounded elegant, polished, and unforgettable. Her business model was brilliant. She trained women to sell directly to other women. Direct selling means bringing products to customers personally. It worked like neighbors sharing trusted kitchen remedies. But Walker added training, branding, and pride. She understood that confidence could travel bottle by bottle. She traveled through the South and Midwest, demonstrating her method. Hotels often refused black travelers. Trains were segregated. Danger followed success. Still, she kept moving. Her daughter, now known as Alelia Walker, helped manage orders. What happened next would define the rest of her life. Walker was no longer only selling hair care. She was selling possibility. By 1910, Madam C.J. Walker moved her headquarters to Indianapolis, Indiana. The city offered railroads, factories, and a growing black community. There she built the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. It included a factory, salon, training school, and mail-order office. Mail-order selling worked like today's online shopping. But by paper, orders arrived by letter. Then products traveled by rail. Her company spread across the United States, the Caribbean, and Central America. Thousands of women became Walker agents. They earned commissions, which means payment for each sale. For many, it was their first path to independence. Walker organized conventions and rewarded achievement. She taught hygiene, business skills, and public service. Her agents were not treated as silent workers. They were ambassadors. They were proof. A woman could build income with her own hands. Success changed her public power. She supported the Young Men's Christian Association in Indianapolis. She funded scholarships and black schools. She donated to anti-lynching work led by the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Her money became a megaphone. By the time Villa Luaro was completed in 1918, she was legendary. She had transformed a personal wound into a national enterprise. Achievement had a face. It looked like hers. Madam C.J. Walker died on May 25, 1919, in Irvington, New York. She was 51 years old. Kidney failure caused by hypertension or high blood pressure ended her life. Her work, however, did not end with her body. It moved through people. Alelia Walker continued parts of the business and became a cultural patron. She supported artists during the Harlem Renaissance. That movement celebrated black art, music, writing, and pride. Think of it as a city becoming a stage. Many voices finally reached the balcony. Walker's legacy is not only her wealth, it is the way she built wealth. She created jobs for women overlooked by banks and boardrooms. She used beauty as an entrance to power. She proved commerce could carry dignity. A bottle became a passport. Her life also warns us against simple myths. She was self-made, but not solitary. She learned, adapted, hired, trained, and gave back. Greatness was not a lightning strike. It was a long fire, tended daily. Born Sarah Breedlove, she became Madam C.J. Walker. She turned loss into service, and service into power. Every life has a story worth telling. Madam C.J. Walker's story reminds us that greatness can grow from the ground others call barren.